Race number 5, a listed event here at Ascot. It's the Sheila Gwynn Classic over the 1400 metres and one of the more exciting races of the day as well with the class.
Oh, I'm really interested to see how Wink and a Nod goes 4 weeks in a row. That's our replay horse. We'll have a look at her winning the Old Comrade last week.
But she looked to be going pretty comfortably. They turned Battle Hero, held a lead of about a length. Wink and a Nod closes the margin quickly to a half, and then 3 lengths Respondent running on Terra Force. Young Lionel, Pike's at work on Battle Hero. She has to go for the whip on Wink and a Nod. Wink and a Nod now draws level. She does just a little too well, and she's got the money here in the Old Comrade.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 4 weeks in a row now, but Justin Warwick said that she's absolutely flying and he wouldn't bring her to the track unless she was. Again, we had a few question marks going to last start with that, and you have to have the same again. The 1400 metres is ideal. She obviously was beaten by Magnificio. Cadenza beat her last start as well, but that was over the 1200. That's just not a distance for her. It's as simple as that. So the 1400 still would probably want that 15 or 16, but it's much better, and we know that she's been running on well. Conditions could play a big part though.
I was about to say, Adam, if it was a soft track, you'd have to have her in your first couple of selections, but look, 4 weeks in a row is a big ask for a mare who's been racing well, but there are some classy other mares in this race, like Magnificio, who you look at her second up record, 8 starts, 5 wins, 2 placings. That's nearly perfect.
I spoke to Alan McAllister after the last start run, and we were discussing this mare, and he mentioned that he feels like now that she's getting a bit older, the 1400 metres is probably ideal. She was screaming for that last campaign as well. She finished second in the Group 3 scale, just beaten by Waterman's Bay. So we know that she gets the distance fine, and maybe that's exactly what she needs now. Barrier 5, the 59.5 kilos. Their hot speed won't be on as it was with Military Rain. I think Magnificio is the one to beat in the race and the one to beat comfortably.
Definitely. The Marjorie Charleston Classic. She's a little bit run off her legs with the heavy weight, but just couldn't pick them up. Will be much fitter first up and over 1400 metres. TARQUINN Shadow comes into this race off a really, really nice trial at Lark Hill. Lucy was very, very soft on her in that trial.
Certainly was, and what we will say, good campaign, last campaign, of course, winning the list of Starstruck, and then Lord Apollo absolutely bolted in on Wednesday at Pinjarra there as well. So the form lines from that trial are holding up. I know that's a midweek and not compared to a listed race, but bolted in by a couple of lengths. And as you said, this was one of the quietest trials that you will see. So TARQUINN Shadow has to go into your numbers. We'll take a look at the selections, and I'm going to go with number 1, Magnificio, from 2, Wink and a Nod, 4, TARQUINN Shadow, and 5, ZOETOMTAYA.
I've got the Group 1 winning mare on top out of number 1, Magnificio, from 4, TARQUINN Shadow, 7, FATHNOXIOUS, 2, Wink and a Nod.
Race number 6 at Ascot. It's a Group 3 WA size produce stakes over the 1400 metres for the 2-year-olds, and again an incredibly exciting race on paper.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of form lines for this race, Adam. We've got the Group 2 Karrakatta Plate and that 1400 metre race that was run a couple of weeks ago as well. We'll have a look at the Karrakatta Plate though, and Whispering Brook leading most of the way to win that.
The speeding Comet with Pike starting to glide his way through. The river comes to the outside for McGruddy. At the head of the other, Soul Special. 200 left to go. Whispering Brook had got away from Atacama Sky. Caipirinha's coming down the outside, but Whispering Brook dashes away. Led the way 2 lengths to Caipirinha. Spangled Impact coming from the back, but Whispering Brook, the Hinton Brook filly, wins it.
Sometimes when you're on course, the price sort of just gets away from you. You don't really notice. And when we saw Whispering Brook win and everyone saw $7.50, I think a lot of people could not believe that this quality filly, who's still undefeated, including trials, got out to a price like that on a leader's day. It was a massive bonus. Now, conditions are going to be very similar and suit again, but the 1400 metres now is just a question mark for me. You saw in that replay there, Spangled Impact attacking the line strongly, drawn much better, carries the same weight as well to Spangled Impact here with the 54.5, and I think that extra 200 metres is a big bonus for her. So even though Whispering Brook undefeated racing so well, I'm actually going to back Spangled Impact to turn the tables on that filly.
Speaking to Mike Santich this morning, he said she's cherry ripe. She's actually improved 20%, he reckons, which is a big call coming off a grand final, really. So it's a massive call, and I think the 1400 metre will suit her. Whispering Brook as well, speaking to Kyle Nowlan from the Simon Miller stable this morning, they're pretty comfortable that it will handle the 1400 metre. It's just a case of whether Peter Naki wants to lead on her or take a sit. They still haven't decided that, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. But I think just lead.
One way and one way only for her as well. The other one that I'm really intrigued to take a look at is number 1, Soul Special. I thought it was a really good run last start in the Group 2 Karrakatta. Finished 3rd on that occasion. Just got squeezed back. It was a simple fact. Lucy did absolutely nothing wrong, but just squeezed back. Still a little bit green. It was only his 2nd career start. William Pike going on. Barrier 1. He'll get to choose. He'll get the run of the race as well. And that's the way that I'm going to be tipping here. Number 1, Soul Special, from number 9, Spangled Impact, number 8, Whispering Brook, and 2, Speeding Comet.
I've got the Karrakatta Plate winner on top, Adam. Number 8, Whispering Brook, from 9, Spangled Impact, 1 Soul Special and 3 Rising Sea.
Race number 7 at Ascot. It's the Group 2 Sweps WATC Derby over the 2400 metres. The boys meet the girls over this extra distance. I'm really looking forward to the battle.
I love these races where the girls play such a big part. I think the fillies have just as good a chance as some of the boys at the top there. We'll have a look at the replay of the Melvista though, which Who Dat Singer won and a few of these other boys come out of.
CAPPO Doro followed by Heartstarter, taking a day to wind up, but the one they've had the money on, Who Dat Singer's clear, 200 left to go. He's out 3 lengths to Big Red, Costa, Heartstarter, KOUTOU, then CAPPO Doro, but Who Dat Singer's in absolutely no danger whatsoever.
Good
and Who Dat Singer's coming away with KOUTOU, storming down the outside to grab second.
That was the biggest point that he had to tick the boxes. I might say Alan Matthews going along at the moment. Proxy we saw win a staying race. Pre-selection won the Cup at Geraldton the other day as well. And then you've got Who Dat Singer going along nicely too. So there's plenty of them at the moment that he is enjoying over this staying trip. Barrier 11, going to have to go forward and go forward quickly too. Just has to get that out of the way early on in the stages. Can be the natural leader and slow them up. The extra 200 metres, a bit of a question mark. And for mine, I just think KOUTOU will turn the tables on this galloper and turn them well.
I think being by Ifraj is more of a chance than you think for staying the trip. But as you mentioned, KOUTOU, look, probably the best horse in the race, but from barrier 1 I can see troubles. As Ian Malpass mentioned on radio the other morning at the barrier draw, he said barrier 1, and he doesn't seem to get around Ascot as well as he did Belmont or even Flemington for that matter. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes either behind the leader or 3 back the fence. He needs to get going early, and whether he can from that position I'm not sure, because he doesn't have that sharp dash as a lot of the other horses do in this race.
Positive is he's got 2,400 metres to get off there, so I think that's the biggest thing. And look, this horse isn't a 1,600 metre horse, it isn't an 1,800 metre horse either. These other horses from mine have run their grand final. Who Dat Singer would have cashed in these wins that they've already had. They weren't expecting these as well. So this is a grand final now for Durant. This is the one he's been waiting for before he leaves. I think KOUTOU is the one to beat.
Why do you hate Who Dat Singer? Anyway, we'll move on to the girls. And we've got Arcadia Dream, Spirit Bird and First Impressions and Culverin. First Impressions was so good in winning the Oaks though, at 30 to 1.
Unbelievable price. I can understand, look, the run before was really disappointing, but you go to the start before that and First Impressions was only beaten 2 lengths by Dreamtime Dancer, finished 3rd on that occasion over the 1,800 metres. So if you put a line through the start in the listed Natasha, could have easily had the form lines to win that race. It did. Glenn Smith keeps a ride with William Pike taking Arcadia Dream. I watched this closely because you always have to take lead of what William Pike does. But for mine, First Impressions at the moment just seems to have the better turn of foot. I think she's still the one to beat in this stable. She's drawn perfectly, can get a nice run from barrier 4. And out of the 2, I'm going to put her on top of Arcadia Dream for this race. So we'll take a look at those selections. And unlike you, I have got Who Dat Singer in my number. So I'm going with number 1, KOUTOU. From number 11, First Impressions. Number 2, Who Dat Singer. And 9, Arcadia Dream.
I had Who Dat Singer on top in the Melvista out of Don't Start. Number 11, First Impressions for me on top of 10, Spirit Bird, 9, Arcadia Dream and 12, Culverin. Go the girls.
Final race of the day at Ascot. It's over the 1,200 metres. And we've said it the entire card. There is class everywhere. Dundee racing so well. Key to Fame returns, which we know is a really good galloper called Passion. We haven't seen for a while since it won 3 in a row. And Celebrity Dream as well looks ready to go second up.
For one of these one Metro win races, there are a lot of ones in the form line, which is quite surprising. But we'll have a look at the replay of Dundee winning the other Wednesday.
Turkle headed the remainder. They're in the straight at the 250 and Bachet's in front, a length and a half. Brzezinski, here comes Dendy down the outside, starting to wind up with a great finishing burst. It's Dendy going to Castle Retreat, Brzezinski, but Dendy's got them covered and Dendy draws away here. It's going to be an easy win by Dendy. Dendy pulled away.
Everything just lined up perfectly for Dendy here. It was a day where they were running on. There was so much speed in the race. She was just always going to win. She was the best bet of the day by an absolute country mile. They went out in front, as you could see there, and she attacked the line strongly to win by 2 lengths. Goes up to the 1,200 metres, another bonus. 2 kilo claim as well for Jordan Turner, who's riding well. She can certainly play a part again.
Won at $5, but didn't win like a $5 shot. Won like a 2's on shot coming from the back. It was a really impressive win. We've also got Cool Passion in the race, Adam, coming off 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, it was concern, I guess, last up we saw Cool Passion return in the mounting yard with blood dripping out of the nostril. Now, for a lot of people, that might raise question marks, but has been proven, and they've had all the vet tests as well, that all that was a burst blood vessel. So there's nothing else to it, so there's no concerns about that at all. So Cool Passion, bit of a fresh nut, was absolutely flying going into that race. Beat Clobberetta by 2 lengths, beat Queen of Choice by 2 lengths, was just doing it so well. Barrier 13 will have enough speed to cross this race. get in front. I think it'll be very, very hard to run down, especially if it is a leader's day, which it does look to be on paper. So I'm going to put her on top. Number 8, Cool Passion. From 11, Celebrity Dream, which will be attacked in the line. Number 1, Dendee, and 4, Key to Fame.
I've got the 11 on top, Adam. Celebrity Dream from 1, Dendee, 6, Wicked Hunter, 4, Key to Fame.
Well, on a very hard day of racing, it's time now to try and find the best bets. I'm going to go with race number 1 and to go with number 8, Universal Law there. And then in the Derby, I'm happy to tip number 1, KOUTOU. So Universal Law and KOUTOU for me. What about you, Mark?
No heroics for me, Adam. Race 5, number 1, Magnificio, and race 6, number 8, Whispering Brook. Hoping for a great day for the McAllisters.
It should be a very good day. They've been in winning form lately as well, so no reason why it can't continue. Hopefully we found you a couple of winners on the program. Make sure you do follow us on social media. It'll be a massive day here at Ascot as well, so looking forward for all of the coverage. On behalf of both of us, hopefully we found you a couple of winners.
And don't forget to wear black and white.